the show that we've got tonight, and I didn't realise how soon it was. It's kind of took me by surprise a little bit. So looking forward to obviously Revolution. We've been building towards it now for quite a while, actually. There's been quite a bit of build that's been happening for this show, and we will take some big step forwards on this Dynamite towards Revolution. We're going to figure out who is going to be the number one contender for like the tag titles. We're also going to be having a look and seeing a potential new surprise. There's a lot of talk and rumour about potentially another member coming into the House of Black. A lot of rumours about Buddy Murphy potentially being that person. I don't know if we get that answer tonight, to be honest. But yes, there's expected to be some twists and turns. The ratings have not been that brilliant recently for AEW. They have been struggling a little bit. Nothing too disastrous, but things have just been a little bit flat, kind of trending in the wrong direction as we head towards Revolution. So it would be a surprise if Tony didn't do something soon to try and, turn this ship around. We are expecting someone pretty major to arrive. We don't know if that's going to be tonight. He was saying that, he's working on bringing someone in that the fans would be expecting. That, to me, would be maybe Wyndham or Jeff Hardy. I feel like Jeff Hardy is maybe the more likely of those two. And apparently Jeff Hardy was teased on being the Elite. I don't expect that tonight, but that's coming. And then, obviously, lots of talk around Buddy Murphy coming in, potentially going into the House of Black to be with Malachi and Brody King. That could be tonight. We could absolutely get that tonight because they are actually on the show. Going to be taking on, I believe, Pac and Penta. And as we said, we've got the tag team battle royal. That I believe the winner will be the number one contender to face the tag champs at Revolution. We've got Jade Cargill taking on the Bunny, defending her TBS championship. We've got Ricky Starks taking on 10 of the Dark Order. That is a qualifying match for the... Can't remember exactly what that qualifies for. It's kind of like the Battle Royal, the ladder match, whatever it might be. I think it's the ladder match, isn't it? Because I think already you've got Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs, I think, are already in. So now Ricky Starks is taking on 10 in that. And then also we've got Bryan Danielson against Garcia. So we've got that tonight as well. So plenty to look forward to. Plenty going on in the world of AEW tonight. Jeff Hardy, Jimmy, hello, said should show up sometime early March, around the 10th. Well, that would be, I think that would put it after Revolution. I don't know, could he show up at Revolution? I mean, that would be a pretty major name to bring in, and I'd have to think they'll have something lined up for Revolution. So I'm going to say that he comes in at Revolution. I don't know if that's impossible. I don't know if there's like some kind of non-compete, which means that he's not going to be allowed to do that, but my guess would be Revolution. Don't know if you've seen, but Swerve is signed with AEW. Jonathan Gresham is backstage at Dynamite, which I know James will love. Also, can't wait for Garcia and Bryan tonight, says Daniel. Austin said, I think Jeff Hardy could show up at Revolution. James MGK is a playable character. I did see that news. Machine Gun Kelly is a playable character in 2K22. Machine Gun Kelly apparently has done the music. He's been the producer for all the music in 2K22. And he is a playable character. So celebrities are now finding their way into the game, not just wrestling rings in real life, but now they're invading the 2K22 wrestling rings as well. The world has gone insane, let me tell you. So, Machine Gun Kelly, a playable character. I'm stunned that Bad Bunny isn't, to be honest, genuinely. I would imagine that as soon as Bad Bunny finds out that Machine Gun Kelly is playable, I can only imagine he's got people on the phone right now trying to figure out how he gets into the game. There's a celebrity DLC, is there? Oh, well, there we go. God, that was quick. There we go. Bad Bunny already getting on the phone. After the Bunny gets her shot at the title, I guess that Jade Cargill, the other one should be Mercedes Martinez, says Rachel. Machine Gun Kelly was also on the NBA All-Stars. I forgot that February is almost over. It's flying. 24th in the UK now. 23rd in America still. But it is 10 past midnight. Just coming up to here in the UK. So, 24th already. Unbelievable. Tony Khan better have locked up Shaka for Sugar Sean Strickland. They really need to cool down on signing all of the WWE cast-offs. They have so much of their own talent that they're not even using, says Joshua. Jimmy said Wrestling Days should be a DLC. Shoggoth said said Khan invites Bad Bunny to AEW. That is how we open the forbidden door. Said, all right, let's get this over with. It's unlikely anything on AEW will be as entertaining as the new episode of Corny's Drive-Thru that just released. Okay. Shola says, Machine Gun Kelly against Roman would be funny. I'm definitely getting the game. Sean, shout out to you. Edward said, but what will Machine Guns Kelly rating be? 30 or something. He can't even wrestle. It's madness. Madness. James said, Days, I'm nice and chilled now. I can't wait for Dynamite. Yeah, James, to be honest, I didn't actually get a chance to see because you arrived just after we'd had some pretty major drama. I had a power outage. So it's crazy because we always get a bit of lag from time to time or something tends to happen. But earlier today I was doing the football and the power went. I was sat in the dark. All the lights went off. The screen went off. The computer went off. The game went off. The TV went off. I was sat here in the dark. And apparently it was out for a while. And that's the second time it's happened in 2022. I don't remember losing power at all in 2020 or 2021. And I don't even know about 2019. It has gone off a couple of times. Maybe 2018. Maybe 2019. A couple of times. And that's it. And it's already gone off twice in 2022. So, there was about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes where I wasn't able to stream. And I was just having, to chat to the chat, basically, on my phone and just go, I don't know what's happening. So anyway, power came back on. We got back up and running. We got back into the game. And then you arrived in the chat going, hey, guys, I've been a bit late. So I didn't realise. I don't know where you were. And then you was talking about being arrested and all this kind of stuff. So I hope you're well. I don't know what's going on. I think it's probably going to be to do with your fashion sense. I think I've seen some pictures of James, of him just out and about. His fashion sense is insane, guys. I can only imagine the fashion police arrested James. And they let him out on bail today. So, I don't know. James will have to let us know what's going on. But, I mean, look, if you are going to wear flares, corduroy flares, in 2022. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it's a brave move. It's definitely a brave move, but it's the kind of thing that I think really belongs in the 1970s. Just, big shoulder pads with flared corduroy trousers. It's very brave, but I just don't know. I don't know if you can work that look in 2022, James. That's all I'm saying. Mitchell says, it seems to me that AEW can only garner interest now by saying they have a massive announcement. It seems like the newness is wearing off, and they're having some issues maintaining viewers. The newness. Mitchell, shout out to you, dude. I hope you are well. To be perfectly honest, I think this is probably an issue that's been around for a while. It's just that before it's ever really got to being this obvious, or, the ratings have kind of ever had chance to really settle at a certain point, they've just naturally always had something that's come along. Be that CM Punk, or be that, a pay-per-view that kind of gives them a bit of a boost. So at the moment, I kind of think that there's been a few weeks where it's kind of really settled down about the 850 mark. And I would say that that's probably naturally where they sit, about 850 to 900,000, which, to be honest, isn't bad. If that is their base, that's not too bad. I think obviously they would want more, but realistically, that is probably what you could expect if you were on the TNT or TBS networks. TBS, I didn't really know what it was going to mean, them moving over there. Was it going to result in a slight bump in the ratings? It did for a short time, and now it seems to have settled down to that 850, 900,000, which I think is quite comparable to where they were on TNT. But, I think, get a bit of a buzz, get people talking again, get people tuning in because there's another surprise that's coming, all this, and, that'll bump it back up again to around the 1 million mark. And, we just continue on the way that we've been. I mean, they are a couple of years into it now. They do need, a really engaging story, I think, in order to, take some of the weight off. Because you're not wrong. I do agree. There is a lot of pressure being put onto surprises, and a lot of pressure on Tony, hyping things up and everything. But I mean, by and large, I think where they are right now is ahead of where I probably thought they would be at this point. They've managed to do a decent job of maintaining an audience and keeping, relevant and keeping the product hot a good couple of years in. So, we are over 2 years in now, and I think they're doing all right. They're doing all right. They really do need to use that talent they've got now to tell some really, really engaging stories. They really could do with something to catch fire. Nothing seemingly is at the moment. I mean, MJF and CM Punk, I think, is probably the best thing they've got going. I'm not a big fan of the Adam Cole Hangman title match picture. I don't think that's really grabbing too many people's attention. I think the Orange Cassidy kind of appeal has worn off. Britt Baker has been a champion for a while. Her match against Thunder Rosa will be good. Very much looking forward to that, but I don't know that is going to really move the dial too much. Tag team wise, it seems the tag division's a bit flat at the moment. Bryan Danielson is, I don't know, he's kind of doing something with Moxley, isn't he? Trying to convince Moxley to, I don't know if that's really, Danielson doesn't feel like he's in a red-hot feud at the moment or anything. So, yeah, it just kind of feels like they really do need some stories to kind of grab people's attention. And they don't really have that at the moment. So, we'll have to see. I think that they've definitely got talent, And I keep saying it because I genuinely mean it. I think they are as strong as they've ever been. You know, I think the roster's as good as it's ever been. Maybe a little weaker now that Cody's gone. But it's pretty much as strong as it's ever been. I think that the show has been, for me personally, in the past few months, probably as engaging as it's ever been. So, you know, I have to look at that and say, well, they've been around for a good couple of years, and if they are putting out some of the best Dynamites that I've enjoyed recently, and the roster's the strongest it's ever been, like, you got to give them credit for that. So, but I don't disagree. I think that there is also a little cause for concern, a little cause for concern that they are going to need more surprises. James Chadwick said, my brother was assaulted. Oh, well, that's not fun at all, is it? By his ex's new boyfriend. So I had to go and sort that. Had to be non-PG violent for a few hours. Non-PG violent? James Chadwick? Oh, my God. Which is not a good place to be. Wow. Look at you, street fighting, man. Yes, everybody was kung fu fighting. He put the corduroy flares away, and he put on his ass-kicking boots. That's what he did. So, well, I hope better lay low. That's what you need to do, James. You need to lay low. You know what the pigs are like. You know what the pigs are like. They'll be round knocking on the door, asking questions. If they ask me, I didn't see nothing. If I get like a little knock at the door and they're like, all right, Days, can you answer some questions? I'll be like, ain't talking to you, pig. Ain't seen him. I haven't seen him. Where is he? Where is he, Days? Where's he hiding? I don't know. And why would I tell you anyway? Hey? Why would I tell you? I ain't seen him in months, have I? Get out. I'll do that. I'll do that for you, bud. I ain't seen nothing. Anna said, Days, I need to vent. Here we go. I have watched 4 interviews with Antonio Conte tonight. He suggested that he wants to walk away. I am sick of manager swapping. It's just a mess. We can't get a settled team. I am just angry. Is this true, Anna? Do you know what? I haven't seen those interviews or anything. So, I mean, it's not AEW related, but equally I don't mind, of course, because that is massive, massive football news. I'll have a look into all of that, and I'm sorry to hear that he's getting a bit frustrated. It seems to me like I think he will have surely known what he was walking into, but I mean, surely there would have been promises made about or assurances made about the amount of money that would be available in the summer. And perhaps he's just doing it to, you know, make his feelings known and let it be known that you better be giving me the money in the summer. Without seeing it, I can't comment. That's why I'm saying I need to have a look at it. But I don't know. Perhaps he's just being playing it up a little bit, making sure that Daniel Levy knows you better back me. Otherwise, I'm gone because I'm not happy right now. Maybe it's something like that. But Anna, really appreciate the donation. It's very, very kind, and I wish I could just share some words to ease your burden, to be honest. But maybe it is. Maybe it is just that. Maybe he's not going to walk away, but he's just a little bit frustrated at the moment. As frustrated as the police will be if they come round to my house asking me if I've seen James Chadwick, because they ain't getting nothing out of me, let me tell you. Getting nothing out of me. We're going to take him down, Days. We're going to take him down. But I love him. I love him. Leave him alone. In my mind now, I want to perform like... I want to go away. I want to write a script. I want to perform a whole piece about the police hunting for James Chadwick. Me saying how much I love him and how they'll never find him and that I'm going to find him first. and then I do find him, and then I hide him in the cupboard, and then the police come back, and it's all really tense. Like, I just want to do that. I don't really want to sit here and talk about AEW. I just want to write and perform that script. I swear, if Tony's surprise is the return of Cody as a heel, I'ma throw the computer, says Shoggoth. Cliff Miro has had a pretty bad injury for months. That is why he's not been seen. I can't wait for Moxley versus Danielson, says Ben. Ben, shout out to you. Hurt said, I think Days needs more sleep. I think I do. I think you're right. I think you could be right. You could be right. Or that could prove to be the greatest thing I ever actually do. Imagine if I wrote that script and like it gets picked up by Hollywood. James Chadwick, the movie. Do you know what I mean? Days, a couple of streams back, I paused it on a funny face of you, so I've taken a picture of it, and now my iPad knows who you are. Your iPad knows nothing, mate. Your iPad knows nothing. Fair play. Fair play. Mitchell said, you have one chance to book a supercard using any active superstar now. You get a world title match, a tag match, a women's match, celebrity match, and it has to be off the top of your head. I don't like all of that kind of stuff. It's very in-depth, big stuff. Don't like it. What is it? Well, off the top of my head then, what is it? I have to do a world title match. What? Who with? With what? With AEW or with any wrestling or with what? You have one chance to book a supercard using any active superstar. So I'm guessing that's from anywhere. World title match, women's match, celebrity match. I want a celebrity match. If I was booking a celebrity match, I wouldn't book a celebrity match. Guys, big surprise for the celebrity match. There isn't one. Boom, that's done. A women's match. Well, I think Serena Deeb's the best thing. I'd do Serena Deeb Asuka. Might as well just smash the two women together that I think that are the best two. So I'd do Serena Deeb versus Asuka for all the women's belts. Done. Tag match. Okay, first team that comes to mind would be FTR. I like FTR. I like FTR. I like the Usos, but I don't want that match. I like New Day. I don't want that match. I like big butts and I cannot lie. I know. I don't know. I can't think of any flipping tag team matches I would want to see, to be honest. I think WWE are atrocious at booking the tag division. WWE's tag division is just on fire. So, and not in a good way, like a dumpster fire. So, I can't really think of any tag teams that I would want to see out of that. Maybe just to get them on the card, I would do DIY against FTR. I mean, I feel like we've seen those matches before, but to see it in this day and age, and like to get Johnny and Tommaso on the card. If I was booking a card, then Serena Deeb against Asuka for like the Days Women's Championship, beautiful. And then for the Days Tag Team Championship, DIY against FTR. Yeah, I'd book that. Let's book that. For the Days Tag Team Championship, beautiful. And then the Days celebrity match is, it's gone. It's not happening, unfortunately. Instead, I'm going to have someone singing a song. I'm going to have Rebecca Black doing Friday. It's Friday, Friday, coming on down, it's Friday, party and party and yeah, party and party and yeah. We'll do it, we shall have a performance of that. And then the world title match. The world title match. So this is what's going to bring people into the building. This is what's going to grab people and drag them to the show. This is what's going to sell the tickets. So I'm going to have the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, because I think that he is the biggest ticket seller. Maybe Brock is, but I'll go with the Tribe. I'll go with Tribal Chief. And I think if we're doing this in America, then probably have to go with... well, it might have to be The Rock. Again, if I need to bring people in, I might have to do that match, which is a dream match, and I'm sure it's a match we'll get next year. I do expect Roman to win that, though. But yeah, I'd have to go with that. I mean, you could do Roman against Kenny, but I mean, that would work if you had like a really good build. If you had a really good build, then you could maybe do that match. I don't think Gunter would bring fans in. I don't think Serena Deebasker's going to do it. Some people might come along to see FTR against DIY, but I think if I'm selling tickets, I'm going to need to really rely on my main event, and so I'm going to have to go with Rock against Roman. There you go. That is an in-depth breakdown of what you requested. Feel free to let me know what yours would be. Matthew Breckshot said, what are the matches today? I have got Danielson against Garcia, House of Black against Pac and Penta, Ricky Starks taking on Dark Order's 10, Jade Cargill against the Bunny, and the Tag Team Battle Royal. That's what we've got, Matthew. Mitchell, shout out to you, dude. Good question, and I think it might be one that has got people thinking right now and throwing in their thoughts as to what they would book. So a fun question for the community to wrestle with also. Wrestle with Andy said, Days, is the AEW surprise happening on tonight's show? Tony Khan has not sent a tweet out. I did double check to see if he was like teasing a surprise tonight or saying anything about a surprise. I can't see him saying anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little something. But the last I heard was that he was working on one. So I'm not expecting a big surprise tonight. But there could be a little something. I wouldn't be surprised if like Buddy Murphy was on the show tonight and revealed tonight. But then I think Jeff Hardy, if that is going to be the big surprise, then I'm expecting that to be at Revolution. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not normally an AEW viewer, says Scottish Outlooker. Hello. What channel is it on tonight? If you are in Scotland, then I believe you're probably going to need to subscribe to AEW subscription thing on Fight TV. Either that or use a VPN and manage to find TBS in America. Or you could go to Watch Wrestling, if that works, and see if you can find it over there. But I've got it on the Fight TV thing. So Fight TV have got, that's I think the only place you can watch it legally live in the UK is over on Fight TV. But you have to subscribe to that. It's like $6.99 a month. You get Dynamite and Friday Rampage live in the UK. I think it is still shown on like ITV or whatever, but I don't believe that's live. I think those are like replays. Shola said, I've got 109 points so far. Acknowledge me. Yeah, well, listen, there's going to be a lot of people that are drowning in points in the game this week, so I do acknowledge you. It's that certainly suggests that you've got a lot correct, but the highest points, the average is 76. The highest points that someone has got is 207. 207. That is madness. 207 points someone has got. That is madness. 207. I mean, I don't know, where were they in the league? They're shooting up the table, unsurprisingly. 207 points in 1 week is the most. That is insane. That is insane. Matthew Breckshot said, what is your opinion on Roman Reigns' theme? I think that it was better than his Durner. I mean, I don't mind that theme, but he needed a new one for this new character. And I give it about a 6.75, this new one. I like the start of it. I like I think there's like a slight choir in the background. It feels big. It's good, but I just don't like the bit when it's the da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na, dun, dun, dun. I like that. I don't like that bit. Like, it feels big, and it's got like a choir, and it feels epic, and then it just sort of breaks down to the da-na-na-na-na-na, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, I kind of feel like the big epicness should have like continued instead of like breaking down to this very simple little like piano line or whatever, this keyboard line. So yeah, a lot of people go crazy for it, but I'm not crazy for it. I give it about a 6.75. I think it's got a great start. It's great open, and then it just falls apart for me. So I'd like to see them tweak it, to be honest. I don't mind that. I really like the start, and I really like the choir, and I really like how big it feels when it first hits. But then, as I said, it just kind of dies. So yeah, I'm not crazy about it. Well, I say I'm not crazy about it. I still give it a 6.75, and I still think it was I feel like they've got this amazing idea. It's just not fully fleshed out. It's just not fully formed. Days, I wish WWE would not bring in famous people. I don't care if they brought in Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is a fighter and he could wrestle, but we don't need YouTubers like Logan Paul. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The only thing with Logan Paul is that he has fought. So Logan Paul has had like boxing matches, and Logan Paul has done some wrestling at high school. So he's not just a YouTuber. If he was literally just a guy that made videos and that was it, then I would agree. I don't like celebrities. Everyone knows this. I don't like celebrities getting in the ring. And I'm not a fan of Logan Paul having a match. But there's a couple of things that make this a bit more palatable. First of all, Logan has extensively trained in boxing and has actually gone the distance with Floyd Mayweather. I have to give him props for that. And he's had a few boxing matches and whatnot. And then also he has got a good size to him. So he's not like, Bad Bunny, who I think is roughly the same size as my small finger. So we've got, at least he's got some size to him. I mean, he towers over Rey Mysterio, and he's much broader and bigger than Dominic Mysterio as well. So optically, when you actually look at it, it doesn't look off. It looks all right. It doesn't look like a problem. It looks credible. So I like the fact it looks credible. I like the fact he went 12 rounds with Mayweather. I like the fact that he's got a wrestling background. Yeah, I mean, there's honestly, there could be a lot worse than Logan Paul. A lot worse than we've seen worse than Logan Paul. But I don't disagree. I'm not a crazy fan about it. I'm certainly not going to be flying the flag for celebrities in wrestling. Celebrities in wrestling have been around for a long time, and I don't mind celebrities in wrestling. I just don't want them in the ring. Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of like, who was it? Cyndi Lauper. She actually did a bit of like managing for Wendy Richter in the 80s. I didn't mind that. I think Mr. T stepping in at WrestleMania 1 probably wasn't necessary, but they were just desperate to get views. I mean, they really needed WrestleMania 1 to work. So they put Mr. T in so they could capture, people's attention, and it worked. It worked. But I mean, like, look at like Muhammad Ali. They used him as a guest referee. Look at how they used Tyson. Like, Tyson didn't, actually have a match. But even if Tyson did, he's a fighter. I wouldn't have minded it. I don't really class Tyson as a celebrity. So Tyson would have been fine. But, Pamela Anderson, she just came down to the ring with, Shawn Michaels. There's ways of using celebrities. It's these celebrities that want to have matches. Like, no. You don't see celebrities wanting to have UFC fights, do you? I mean, to me, it should be that. If you want to have a match in WWE, then fine. But you also have to sign that you are and agree that you are going to have a UFC fight as well. That's it. So, Bad Bunny, if you want to have a wrestling match, that's fine. But you also need to tell me who is it in UFC that you're going to be taking on and having a match over there as well. Because I'm a believer in treating the two as the same. Mitchell said, world title match, AJ Styles against Kenny Omega. That would be awesome. Tag match, Briscoes versus FTR. Women's match, Sasha Banks versus Serena Deeb. Celebrity match, The Rock versus Vin Diesel. No holds barred. I like AJ versus Kenny. Briscoes FTR would be interesting. Women's match, Sasha against Serena Deeb. I love Serena Deeb. And the celebrity match is Rock count as, well, suppose you could count him as a celebrity and put him in that match, couldn't you? And no holds barred thing. Be interesting. That'd be interesting. I like it. Wrestle with Andy says is... Oh, we read that one. Hang on. My chat's a little bit out. Days, you can now get a yearly subscription for AEW. It's $62.99. Says not James Chadwick. That's right. If any of you pigs are watching out there, he's not around, yeah? I ain't seen him. I don't know where he is. Right? You leave him alone. I love him. And scene. Also, Tony described the surprise that's coming up as something that he's been working on for a long time. And it's not what the fans expect. It sounds more than just a new sign-in. I think you worded it wrong before. No. He said that it was something the fans would expect. That's the one that I saw. So, unless he's working on something else that the fans won't expect. But what I saw him talking about was one where he was saying that the fans would expect it. It is something the fans would be expecting. So if there's another one that's what the fans aren't expecting, then that would be different to what I'm thinking of. Primo said, Days, looking at Tony Storm's Instagram activity, she seems to be preparing for indie booking. Do you think she could handle the grind of being a WWE superstar? Do you think she could handle the grind it took to be well, no, clearly not, because she quit. So, I think that she, I haven't heard as to, what was going on, but the reports are that it was because she was burnt out. And apparently the schedule over Christmas was quite hectic. So I think it was a case that just all got a little bit too much. And I don't really know why. I don't know if she was struggling to fit in with the locker room or what was going on. Or if it was that she was just burnt out and she was running on fumes and she was just really, really struggling. You would think if you were burnt out, you'd like to think you could go to management and say, is there any way I can, get some time off? But I suppose she was in, at the time, she was facing Charlotte, wasn't she? So really, really difficult. Really, really difficult because she was kind of in the title picture. Maybe if it was like a match lower down the card, it wouldn't have mattered as much. But, yeah, I think... to all intents and purposes, from what I've heard, she was burnt out from it all. So, yeah, I don't know. She has been on the indie scene, though. She knows what she needs to do there, so maybe it's just easier. Maybe on the indie scene, you can take your own bookings and you can work your own schedule, and if it doesn't work for you, you don't need to take, those shows or whatever. So, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with it, to be honest. There could be another. It's rumoured it's a final announcement of the UK show, or that Tony and New Japan have been talking about a show together. Okay. Do you think AEW would have to do more rematches in order to have better and longer stories? Yeah, definitely. I don't think rematches are a problem as long as you don't do them on the scale that WWE do them, which is pretty much every feud has several rematches to it. And pretty much every week you are going to see at least a couple of rematches. Like, I think AEW do a really good job of avoiding that. So I think, if you've got a feud that needs it, it's really not a problem. Like MJF and CM Punk are having a second match, aren't they? With the dog collar thing, which I think has got people really excited. I'm really excited for that. So I don't see it as a problem. I wouldn't really cut your nose off to spite your face kind of a thing. I think that you can do rematches when the feud needs it, and I think they are, but I think they could do more. It's really not a problem. Rematches are like absolutely fine as long as the feud needs it. You've just got to do it on a feud by feud basis, to be honest, and just take it that way. Matthew said Roman Reigns' current theme sounds like Dragon Ball Z boss theme. I've never seen Dragon Ball Z in my life, so I really can't compare, to be honest. James said, as long as at some point I get Gresham versus Danielson. That's James Chili. James Chili said, as long as at some point I get Gresham versus Danielson, I'm happy. That was James Chili. David said, sometimes people get burnt out from low morale. I wouldn't necessarily judge Storm being burnt out. Sometimes it just takes going somewhere where you can feel unappreciated. Joshua, shout out to you, my friend. Really appreciate the support. Let's go down. Do you see AEW doing a tournament like the G1? Maybe one day, Mitchell. Yeah, it's a good shout. I think that would work quite well for them to do that. I'm surprised they haven't already, because it's a great way of using a lot of their talent. It's a great way of eating up a lot of TV time. If the prize is something really significant, like the G1, is the number one contender. Well, not only are they the number one contender, but they are guaranteed to fight for the title at the biggest show of the year. Yeah, I would see them doing something like the G1, and I'm surprised they haven't already done it. Perhaps they think that it won't play very well for American audiences. Perhaps like Tony's just a little bit concerned that like having lots of like really great wrestling is not gonna bring in the views. I mean, maybe that's an awkward truth. Maybe that's something that as wrestling fans, it's a bit uncomfortable for us to acknowledge, that, just putting on really great wrestling wouldn't give you the result that you'd be hoping for. You would hope that if you was to put on like great match after great match after great match, that people would gravitate towards it. And the truth of the matter is, maybe not in this day and age. Maybe not. Maybe you need good storylines, and maybe you need twists and turns and surprises and shocks. And maybe something like a G1 isn't really set up in order to do that, because a G1 tends to be really focused on in-ring and really focused on just brilliant matches and dream matches and interesting matchups. And it's basically two brackets, two groups where everyone faces each other and there's a league table. And then I think, isn't it like the champion of both then face each other in the final? Whoever's top of each league faces each other in a grand final. And then that is, that is the winner of the G1. It's a massive thing in New Japan that goes back years and years and years and years and years. I mean, it's been around for a long time. But, I suppose I am surprised. But then, as we said, maybe he's worried that it'll go on too long, because it does take a long time to complete. So maybe he's a little bit worried that it will get stale. And once you commit to it, you've got to see it through. It's a big commitment. Big commitment. But it would eat up a lot of TV time. And it could throw out some really interesting matches. And someone like Bryan Danielson shows that. But then saying that, Bryan Danielson is arguably the best in the world right now in ring. There's only really there's not many like him. So you would end up with a lot of matches that would not be that level. So that's interesting. I like that's an interesting one, Mitchell. Very interesting. Sean said, pure wrestling these days is boring. You do need the stories and the characters. Thoughts on Cena Goldberg for a dream match? No, not for me. I'm not a Goldberg fan, to be honest. I think that Cena's good. I don't mind Cena. He's probably a little bit past it now. But I thought his match with Roman was decent at SummerSlam. But Goldberg hasn't really done it for me for years and years and years. In fairness, I was never a WCW guy, so I don't have that feeling when I see Goldberg. I don't get the memories of watching WCW and loving him in WCW and all of that kind of stuff. I've nenever cared about him. I've never cared about Goldberg. He's always been someone that I've always just sort of tolerated. So yeah, not for me. But if there might be a dream match for someone out there. No, me either. Goldberg needs to retire. Goldberg can't even jackhammer anymore. Daniel said, just as I said that, there's a video on AEW's Twitter of Tony talking about a surprise. And by the sound of it, it does sound more than a new signing. How can I watch Dynamite in the UK? It's on Fight TV, but you have to subscribe to it, though. It's not on, sadly, not on a channel in the UK. You can't just, flick through and find the channel. You have to subscribe to Fight TV to watch it live. Or you might be able to get it on Watch Wrestling. The video on AEW's Twitter is interesting. Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor is laughable. Tony's surprise definitely does not sound like a new superstar, but more a new deal, either another promotion or a big show somewhere in the US. Has he said when he's going to announce it though? Do we know when he's going to actually announce something? John said, I wish I could have Zendaya's kids. I didn't know she had kids, to be honest. But I wouldn't go around saying that. Saying that you want to, steal other people's children is very weird, John. Very, very weird. That's not what this platform is for. Yeah, there's forums that you should go to if you want to kind of express that. Is it true Hogan was supposed to retire in 90 and have a final match at SummerSlam? I don't know that he was going to retire in 90, but I think, wasn't it spoken about on a podcast recently about how he was going to do something with... Oh my God, I can't remember. He was going to do something at SummerSlam. Was it Brett? I can't remember who he was facing, but there was plans for him to do something at SummerSlam in 90. But in all honesty, I this is when we're approaching him going off to do films. And obviously Thunder in Paradise was not too far away. So I don't know. I don't know if he would have gone. I don't think there was a... With these kind of things, I think there's a lot that gets spoken about. And, plans come and go and change all the time. I don't know how concrete it was that things were going to be different to what we actually got. But, yeah, there's been a lot of talk around about Hogan in 90 recently, and I'm sure it's connected with like a Bruce Pritchard podcast or a JR podcast that revealed some details of an alternative kind of plan for Hogan. But I don't know really how close we came to any of that. So I wouldn't. It's an interesting little kind of bit of information, but I wouldn't put too much stock into it. Hogan needs to go away. I blocked your account last night because someone was pretending to be you. Oh. Sent you a follow back. Just sometimes I get this superstar accounts. Why do people make fake accounts? Don't know. Didn't even hear that someone was doing that, to be honest. He said on a video on Twitter that he's currently under an NDA, so he can't comment, but he said in the coming weeks he will. Okay. When did you start watching WWE? I started watching it in 90. Well, it's funny because I never quite knew. I always said 92, but I wasn't 100% that it was 92. It could have been early 93. But I found a video of me at Christmas in 1992, and I get given like some wrestling stuff. So I know for a fact that I was aware and watching wrestling in 1992, which is cool. So I always say that because I know for a fact the first event I saw was Survivor Series. Survivor Series 92 is the first wrestling show I ever see. And so it must have been, that show will have happened, obviously. So I don't think I'd been into it long. And then, it's one of those, as soon as you see it, I mean, I was absolutely mesmerized by it. And then, in Christmas 92, I'm getting, wrestling stuff for Christmas. So, with 6 minutes till the show's going to start. Have you seen the Pat interview with Brock? No, I have no interest in watching it. How old was you back then? I was 21. New Zealand confirms 6,137 new cases of the Omicron outbreak. Oh, Hayden, hello, shout out to you. I'm giving you a heads up. It's just messed up someone pretending to be someone. Rai said, but you're 21. Yeah, I was 21 back then as well. Do you not get how age works, Rai? Come on, bud. You're better than that. Mitchell said, I'm sad the Olympics are done. Could do more coverage of qualifying events like the World Championships in July. I don't think the demand is quite there for that, to be honest. I think with the Olympics, people are, looking for it, searching for it, and there's an interest for it. But I don't think there'd be much of an interest in, qualifying and all that kind of stuff. I had a few people asking about the Winter Olympics. I mean, you are literally the only person asking about qualifying. So I think, if we did it, if we could even find time of fitting it in, it might literally just be you and me, to be honest. And maybe that's your dream. Maybe that's exactly what you're trying to achieve. I don't know. But probably not. Probably not, Mitchell. But we do so many streams that we won't be stuck for stuff. We pretty much stream every day. We do something. So we're certainly not short of ideas. Mitchell, you don't need to keep sending in super chats as well, by the way, my friend. I will keep an eye out for your comments. Vishal, shout out to you, said, number one rank AEW wrestler at the end of the year gets money in the bank equiv. Number one rank AEW wrestler end of the year gets money in the bank equiv. Is that something that you would bring in? If you end the year as the number one, then you get an AEW, money in the bank thing. Could be fun. I would like them to use the rankings more, actually. So I wouldn't mind that. I'm just trying to think if there would be any problems with it, but don't think so. The only thing is, I don't quite get how the rankings work. Like, how does someone that's at number 2 get to number 1? Like, by the time you get in towards a certain point, is it even possible to catch number 1 up? I don't know. I don't really get how it works. I mean, I've seen people be like, 1 and 1, and they're number 4 in the rankings. So I don't know. There's a ranking system. I just don't get how it works. So I think there would need to be a real explanation, maybe a bit of an overhaul as to how all of that kind of works. But if so, that I'd love to see them using it more. Who do you think will accept Edge's challenge at WrestleMania, AJ or Seth? I'd like AJ. I think a lot of people would like AJ, to be honest. So I'll go AJ. I remember seeing Sting and Flair in 88. It was the Iron Man draw. For anyone who has not seen it, it is a must-watch, says Master Chief. Kevin Owens is on Twitter talking rubbish about beer. This Austin match is looking more and more like a possibility, says Joshua. Ryan said, Days, what do Man United have to do to advance in the Champions League? They have to score more goals than their opponents. If they can score more goals than Atletico Madrid, they will advance in the Champions League. You see, that's the mistake they made tonight. So they actually scored the same amount of goals. So at the moment, they're not advancing. But once we get to Old Trafford in a couple of weeks, if they score more goals, they will advance. Simple as that. They say football is a complicated game. Easy. Just got to score more than your opponent. Tony Khan is teasing more on All Elite Twitter, says John. I made up a group called Trio. Me, John, and Austin are in it, says Taboy. That sounds awful. I mean, honestly, sounds awful. Do you think Tony cares about signing women? He's passed up on Deonna Purrazzo, Santana Garrett, Mickie James, Chelsea Green, the Iconics. We've heard no news regarding any interest in Ember, Taya, or Mia Yim. Do I think he's interested in signing women? He should be, to be honest, because that women's division really does need a boost. I don't know if it feels like he's kind of maxed out his budget. Like, he's not brought in Braun. He's not brought in, at the moment, Wyndham. He did bring in Keith Lee, but he hasn't brought in, like, Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross ended up going to MLW, I think. So there's some big names that you would potentially expect him to just go and get and bring them in. But I think he's spending a lot on Bryan Danielson, Jericho, CM Punk. I think he's sort of where he wants to be. And the fact that he will not give Cody the money Cody wanted says to me that wage budget-wise, we're pretty much there or thereabouts. So it might be that he's going to have to wait for some of these contracts to expire before he brings in new people. So it might not be that he's not interested in the women. It might just be that there's not much scope to bring the women in. Right, we're live with Dynamite. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. Hayden, shout out to you. No, South Park tonight, so I can watch from the start, said List of Jericho. Dude, you're a lot of fun. I'm not someone who likes to spam. I got some pocket change. I want to give it you. You're a great streamer. I love that you answer my questions. Mitchell, I really appreciate the generosity, dude. I really, really do. It all goes back into the channel. But you don't have to keep doing it. You really don't have to keep doing it. You're so generous, and it really is appreciated. But as I said, you don't have to keep doing it. It's a pleasure just to sit and chat away. I'm just grateful that people join us, on these streams and share their thoughts and everything. And as you said, your dream card post that you put out earlier, I think, was one that the community had a little bit of fun with there. So, all good stuff, dude. All good stuff. Right, we are up and running with the Battle Royal. This is the Tag Team Battle Royal. And the winning team, I believe, will get a title shot. It's jacked, isn't he? Is that the Blade? Showing off his guns. And he's eliminated by John Silver, who then shows off his guns. And here are the guns. It looked like Ortiz. Yeah, Ortiz was going to attack them, and he just waited a moment. And so we've got Santana and Ortiz with the gun club. So we've got FTR in there. We've got Butcher and the Blade. We've got the Young Bucks. We've got one of the gun club has been eliminated. It's I think if one's eliminated, the other one isn't automatically by the looks of it. The other one's gone as well. So both of the gun club have gone. I don't know. This is moving at quite a pace at the moment. We've got, I think, Private Party are in there. 2.0 are in there as well. It looks like we've got Red Dragon in there. Butcher and Blade. There's the Bucks. Working on the Butcher. He kind of goes through the clothesline that the Bucks had set up. Here we go. Red Dragon, nice kicks to the midsection. He goes through and a clothesline to them as well. Butcher is running through a few people here. Daze, I don't know if it's true, but I've tagged you in the rumoured matches that will happen at Mania, says Trenton. Okay. There's your AEW ranking system in action, folks. How do you think they should book the Owen tournament? I don't know, to be honest. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not really a fan of the whole Owen thing in AEW. I'm really torn on it, because it's all for a good cause, and I really like Owen, but it just doesn't really sit very comfortable with me. Like, the whole, Owen Hart is all elite stuff is a bit... just don't like it. He's not connected with AEW in any way. He's got no history with AEW. We don't know that he would want to be connected with AEW. His wife obviously does not want to work with WWE, which I totally understand. So, on one hand, it's a really good way of, promoting the foundation and, raising money and doing some really good stuff. But, I don't know. An Owen tournament and an Owen figure and... I know it's all positive and it's all, everyone's happy about it. It's a positive spin, but it's not sitting right. It just doesn't sit right. Just don't really like it. So, the Owen tournament, if I was booking it, I wouldn't book it. I don't even think the Owen, the winner wins the Owen. I don't even think that sounds very good, the Owen. The Owen, I don't know. I mean, it's nice that they pay respect to him, and it's nice that they show the footage. I mean, there are definitely positives. There's definitely positives. I mean, I'm guessing you just get some great wrestlers, put them in a knockout tournament and do that. I mean, that's it. As much as I want a new team to win, to go up the ranks, I'm hoping for FTR or Paragon. 2.0 have got different attire. They've got blue, like, kind of AJ Styles attire in a way. Both get eliminated, dumped over the top. Jason, hello. Shout out to you. It might be weird, but if Owen's family is going to benefit from it, I am all for it. I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know if they're benefiting. It's the foundation. That's what they've set up, is money to... I don't quite know where the money goes, but it's all to charity of some sort. So, as I said, yeah, for that bit, it's all cool. I ain't got a problem with charity. I ain't got a problem with that. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just that idea of Owen being all elite when he has nothing to do with AEW. Strikes coming in by Dax. He's really laying it in. That would be nice, actually. I'd like to see Undisputed Era against FTR or Red Dragon. I don't actually know what they're going by now. I'm guessing it's Red Dragon. Bulldog by Nick Jackson, is it? So we're starting to get down to the business end here. We've been live for 8 minutes with this show. We got the Bucks in there. We've got Dark Order in there. We've got Best Friends in there. We've got FTR in there. Red Dragon in there. So we are getting down to the business end. We've got FTR going over, and they're working on Red Dragon. They've got Kyle O'Reilly. They're trying to eliminate Kyle O'Reilly at the moment, FTR, but they're struggling. They've got him on the outside of the ring, but he manages to get right back in. Again, they're trying to pick him up. It's a little bit clunky. They do get him up in the air. And Nick Jackson makes the save. He gets thrown over the top. He's eliminated. So that's one of the Bucks gone. One of the Bucks has been eliminated here. So I think it's just Matt Jackson in the ring on his own now. Rake of the back by Santana. Santana is still in there. Surely the Young Bucks are winning this, says Scott. Great crowd, says Ron. Red Dragon, yep, up over the top. Trent hanging on. Orange Cassidy has come down. He's got him on his shoulders. And he gets back into the ring. Guillotine applied by Kyle O'Reilly. He gets thrown. Are we at commercial break right now? It just feels like this thing has really died. Clothesline. Well, Bobby Fish just got eliminated, so maybe not. Oh, he says it'll continue in picture-in-picture, so I think, is it just going over to a break now? That's funny. It's funny because it felt like it had just really settled down. And now we do go to picture-in-picture. Oh, but now it's come back alive again. Now everyone's like... Everyone was down for a second, like taking a breather, but now like everyone's fighting again. Weird. We are at picture-in-picture. Picture-in-picture, yeah, commercial break. Now we're at commercial. It kind of feels like everyone stopped a bit early, to be honest. Well, anyway, picture-in-picture right now, so... FTR, Santana or Ortiz versus Jurassic Express. Young Bucks versus Paragon at Revolution, says Tahil. Have you thought about wearing an ear pod so you can hear it clearer? No, I don't feel like I need to hear it. There's not really any commentary that I feel that I really miss out on. Days out of who's left, who do you want to face at Jurassic Express? Probably FTR. When we were doing that, like, pick your card kind of a thing, FTR was the team that was the first one that came to mind. I really like FTR. I haven't been crazy about their booking in AEW, but I really like them as a team. I like them in NXT, and I like what they represent here. I like them with Tully. I really like them. They're heels as well, so them going up against Jurassic Express, I mean, it should make for a great match. So I would like to see FTR personally. The Battle Royal has been decent so far. Fight don't have commercials. You even get commentary. Chop coming in by Silver. Silver over by the ropes, and strikes coming into the back of the head. Tully was trying to grab Silver's arm. So, Jurassic Express watching on. Why has Luchasaurus not got a chair? Jungle Boy and Christian are both sat down, and Luchasaurus is having to just stand in the background. Cash Wheeler eliminated. So that means that Dax is in there on his own. No complete teams left, though. So it means that we've got, how many teams? 6 teams left. And we are down to just 1 member in each of those teams. So 6 people left. We got John Silver, we got Matt Jackson, we got Kyle O'Reilly, we got Santana. We got Trent. We got Dax. Silver. Dinosaurs always need to attack their prey. Dinosaurs don't sit. Dinosaurs don't sit down, so he doesn't need a chair. It's a perfectly good explanation. Here's Trent and Santana. Forearm strikes being traded back and forth by these two. Standing ovation. I want Red Dragon to win, but I don't mind FTR. Against the ropes. Lovely. Discus lariat by Santana. Santana charging over. Big boot. Trent on the edge of the ring. He survives. He grabs the hair of Santana. He's going to look to suplex Santana. Both of them on the edge of the ring. Yeah, someone just needs to knock them both, to be honest. They're both trying to suplex each other. Trent is up in the air. They both forearm smash into each other. Both kick each other. And there we go. Both get eliminated. So, both get eliminated. One by Matt Jackson. One by Kyle O'Reilly. We're down to 4. Kyle O'Reilly, Matt Jackson, Dax Harwood, and John Silver. That's where we are at the moment. Down to 4. Right, big strikes coming in by Dax and by John Silver. The crowd are unhappy. Amazing crowd so far, says Minty. Knees coming into the body by Dax. Dax in control against Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly reversing. We've got John Silver and Matt Jackson over on the other side. Almost 20 minutes gone so far. Matt Jackson has got Silver. Silver over on the ropes. Kyle O'Reilly on the outside as he's trying to... are these two going to go? Kyle O'Reilly is on the outside. He's trying to get Dax out there. Ooh, this isn't looking good. Both of them are on the edge. Forearm strike by Dax. Strike coming back by Kyle. Chopping away, kicking away. Both of them battling away. Someone's surely going to fall, if not both. Would you like to see AOP in AEW? Yeah, I mean, didn't mind AOP. Thought they were a good big team. They had a really good look as well. Plus, they were managed by Ellerin for a time, so bringing Ellerin in could be really interesting. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Dax eliminated Bobby Fish, who had already been eliminated, interferes, and we're down to 3. No, the burial continues for FTR. Yeah, that was the team I would have liked to have seen win, to be honest. Lovely suplex by Silver on Matt Jackson and on Kyle O'Reilly. Big back body drop there by Silver. I do enjoy watching him work. Against the ropes goes Silver and kick to the back of the head. He picks up airplane spin, is it? Oh! Silver is so good. He is so good. He's bringing so much energy to this. Super kick. Silver goes down. Kick. Planted. They just need to pick him up and dump him out, and then it'll be down to Matt Jackson and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly's really struggling. Nice. Good work. Nice work by Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly saying that his shoulder had given out. So Matt Jackson dumps Silver, and just as he's doing it, Kyle O'Reilly dumps him. So Red Dragon have won. Red Dragon have won, and they will now go on to face Jurassic Express. The Bucks not happy with what's just happened. I like that, though. It's kind of a creative finish. Nice ending. Good ending. Some of those that were eliminated did not go over the top, says Indiglo. That theme song is so awful. Here's Hangman. Hangman making his way down to the ring. Hangman, Adam Page jumping into the ring. And he's unloading on Red Dragon. I don't remember them attacking him last week, to be honest. Here's Adam Cole. Adam Cole goes down. And we've got Hangman in there with Adam Cole, baby. Hangman is the most generic champion of all time. Red Dragon pulling Adam Cole out of the ring. The champ is here. Why is he attacking Undisputed Era? Well, apparently they attacked him last week. I don't remember it. Silver throwing Kyle O'Reilly into the ring so that Hangman Adam Page can do the buckshot lariat, and he does. At Revolution, Hangman will go for a buckshot, and Cole will turn into a super kick. That is definitely going to happen. Hangman's got a chair, and he sets it up in the middle of the ring. So, looks like he's going to say a few words. Who is ready for story time with Hangman Adam Page, baby? Well, there we go. Battle Royal done. And we're moving on to story time with Hangman Adam Page. So he says our story begins in 2008. And he's talking about Adam Cole coming into wrestling. In the promo last week, Cole shook Hangman's hand, then walked away, and Fish and Cole attacked him, which led to the Dark Order coming down to fight them and the security. I do remember Dark Order fighting the security. Rather than overbooking than underbooking, does no one remember the Idiot Abroad cuddling episode? Says Dork Knight. What's that got to do with this? Okay, so Adam Cole is on the entrance ramp as Hangman. He's saying a few words. Did he say the better Adam laid him down in that grave? There we go. Who is your break at the start of the year so far? Who is your breakout star of the year so far? Don't know. I mean, we're only a couple of months in. I don't know that there's really anyone that's broken out, is there? I mean, Austin Theory has obviously, since Survivor Series, been having quite the push. But really, that started to happen at the end of 2021. So, probably might be someone that's made a bit of a splash in NXT 2.0 that we hadn't seen before. But I don't know. I can't really think of anyone that I've only been introduced to in 2022. We've got Bryan Danielson backstage. Okay, we're going to commercial break. So I think the Danielson match is coming up next. FTR are better than the Bucks, says Cliff Beavers. Via is the breakout star of the year, says Master Chief. Bryan Danielson. Loving this Bryan Danielson gimmick. He and Serena Deeb should join up since they have a similar teach the youngsters a lesson in brutality gimmick. And they are, for me, the two best wrestlers in AEW. I think that Danielson's the best male, and I think that, for me, Deeb's the best female. Adam Page being champion is not good for AEW. Look at the ratings, says Eddie Sell. Legend Killer, hello. Page needs help on the mic. James said, I think we might get Moxley versus Danielson at Revolution. Yeah, it was interesting to hear Moxley talking about how he's faced Danielson a few times and never beaten him. And, you know, he was excited when Danielson came in because he thought he'd now have that opportunity. So I think you could be right. It could be a match that then they join forces after. Could be interesting if Danielson wins again and then they join forces, but Moxley is, you know, struggling because he still can't believe that he's not beaten him. And maybe you could make a story out of that. Not sure. Not sure where they're going to take it. There's a few different directions you could go with it. They do too much. It's 3-on-1. He's sitting on a chair talking. Why, says Essa1. No Name said, if you had to pick one person from AEW to go to WWE to fight Roman Reigns in a match, who would it be and why? If I could pick one person to go, I would pick... Well, I wouldn't want to pick someone that's like... I wouldn't want to pick Bryan Danielson because we've already had that. I would pick CM Punk because CM Punk left in, 2014? The Shield were still together, I think, when CM Punk left. I think the Shield split after CM Punk left, so Roman versus CM Punk in a one-on-one match, we might have got it. We might have got it on like a Raw or a SmackDown or something, but it would only be very, very low-key if we did. So we certainly never had like a major CM Punk Roman Reigns match. I would be really, really interested in seeing that. Really interested. I think you're talking about, you know, one of the recent greats in CM Punk taking on arguably the biggest star in wrestling right now. And even though CM Punk is someone that's been in WWE before, as we said, I don't think he's had that match one-on-one with Roman. So it's not a match that we've seen. So I would go with CM Punk, which might be the easy, obvious answer, but it's easy and obvious because I think it's probably the right answer. Here's Umjuff. Umjuff is here. Big CM Punk chants. I get that you guys want to boo me. Okay. So MJF is talking about how when he met CM Punk, it wasn't just another Friday for him. Just like all of you, I love professional wrestling. Okay, we're going back to 2007 with this story. We just went back to 2008 with the Hangman story. We're going back to 2007 with this one. CM Punk has faced Roman one-on-one twice before, once on Raw and once on an old school show. Yeah, as I said, it wouldn't be anything major because the Shield was still together. And I think that old school show, if I'm right, was the main event, which was a tag match. So I don't know about that Raw one, but the old school show I'm sure was a tag match. Because I think it was the main event, and then that's the one where Jake the Snake comes out and puts the snake on Dean Ambrose at the end of the show, which is a really cool moment. I love that moment, which is why I'm able to recall it. Okay, MJF is... Okay. I think he's talking about being bullied, is he? They threw quarters at him. He said he went home and he cried, but he stopped crying because he realised he was going to get to meet CM Punk. AJ, Lee, and Lana need to go to AEW. Why is he cutting a babyface promo? Well, there's going to surely be a twist and a turn coming in a second. He is going to switch this, but it is a bit weird. It's not what you would expect from MJF at the moment. He is playing like a babyface card right now. Why is he pretending to cry? I don't think that's something MJF can't do very well. Okay. This is brilliant. You can't cheer his sadness because you'd be cheering anti-Semitism. No, I mean, you could boo this. I could boo this because he's a douche. And I don't care. I'm genuinely not impressed with this promo. I find it to be a bit all over the place. MJF is a liar. Taboy said, "This is great. I'm sleeping right now. Someone come out already." Some points is pretending like he's about to cry, and then some points is aggressively shouting down the camera. It doesn't seem to be like he knows what he wants to do. If he wants to sell that he's genuinely upset, why is he not doing that? Right, is this CM Punk? CM Punk's come out. Not really impressed with that. Here's CM Punk. CM Punk's come out. Let's see what CM Punk's got to say. Matthew said, Days, it's the male version of Liv Morgan. Cry baby MJF. Cry baby MJF, that's what we've got. CM Punk says, was that story true? Was that story real? I don't feel for him. I think he's an absolute douche. I don't get it. Why would CM Punk give a why would he care? What, because MJF got bullied as a kid and he got excited and looked forward to seeing CM Punk and now they're in a feud? Why would he care? Jeez. I saw a tear, says Liv and Selena Stan. Yeah, it was coming from me. Of course he isn't buying this. This is taking the time of a match. Matt said that's the best promo in a long, long time. Matt, you must be new to Dynamite then, because there's been way better promos than that recently. You do get some good promos on Dynamite. Like, I just genuinely don't think that's one. I felt that it was unfocused. I felt that, like, if he was gonna, like, cry, then he needed, like, he was just, like, aggressively shouting, and there was no... He didn't seem to be able to get across that he was genuinely upset. Like, there would be, like, some, like, very fake sounding kind of emotional wobbles, but then he'd go back to, like, shouting down the camera again. And the story was that basically he was bullied as a kid. He was excited to see CM Punk. He went and saw CM Punk, and now he's in a feud with him. I don't understand. So it wasn't just a Friday. I don't understand. Like, this is CM Punk's current opponent. Think of all the bad stuff that MJF has done to get to this point here, and like why we're here. You know, this feud has got so brutal that CM Punk now wants to be doing a dog collar match. So I do find it a bit weird that all of a sudden CM Punk's like falling for this. Even I don't know. It was awkward. It's engaging, but what does it do for their match? Well, I can only imagine that CM Punk's going to fall for it, which is going to make CM Punk look stupid. And then MJF's going to reveal that it's a load of rubbish and he was lying anyway. That's my guess. My guess is going to be that. Is that MJF is... I genuinely think, just judging by the chat, I genuinely think that's a promo that's going to split opinion. I think there's going to be people out there, if you go on Twitter, I think there's going to be people out there that say, God, that was brilliant. So interesting and emotional. And then there'll be people saying, nah, that was stupid. So I think it's a promo that's going to divide people, and that's fine. But but I think my guess is where it's going is that's going to make CM Punk feel bad now that he said that, and he's going to feel guilty, and he'll let his guard down a little bit. MJF will end up attacking him, and then it'll get revealed that it was all a load of rubbish, and then we build towards the match at, the dog collar match at Revolution. Right, we're backstage with 2.0. It was good promo, but MJF playing face made it bad. I liked it, but it wasn't necessary. CM Punk made it worse. He shouldn't have come out. To be fair, that kind of promo was unfocused, but props to MJF for putting such emotion into it. Vape Ross Vape said, how dare you? He went through trauma, damn it! Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. Not the kind of thing that you really expect from MJF. House of Black. I don't even know if they're called that, to be honest, these two. I think, aren't they known as something else? They represent the House of Black. Kings of the Black Throne. Kings of the Black Throne. Kings of the Black Throne are here. It wasn't a great execution, but I think it's a good idea. In story, MJF is scared and is trying to make CM Punk less vicious in the match, says Grand Based Lord. MJF is the type of guy to say that he got bullied when really he was the guy that did the bullying, says the almighty Nick. Jaden said, do you see Julia Hart betraying the Varsity Blondes? She got told to stay out the ring last night when they won. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know that she joins them. She might do. But I could see her turning heel. Pax here. He's not wearing the blindfold anymore. Days, you seem a bit tired. I don't know, dude. Just watching the show. I thought this was going to be the main event, says Rom. Pac looks great. I thought Edge's promo on Raw was better. Black has done amazing in AEW so far. Really shows how creative he can be. Too many names for Aleister Black and Brody King. Honoring the House of Black, the Kings of Black Throne. Rampage ratings went down really bad last week. Rumours it was due to 3 hours earlier show. I must admit, I was very surprised to see those ratings as low as what they were. I honestly thought that earlier time slot would have been brilliant for them. But seemingly not so. So, I mean, I should imagine that was very interesting for Tony. What the hell's this? There's a gravestone. Here's Penta. Penta's got a gravestone and a shovel. Who's he with? Who the hell's that? Is that his translator? Okay. We will never see it that early again. What's with AEW and their obsession with blackouts? Pentagon Dark. So, Penta Oscuro. Penta Oscuro. What happened to the toy hunts? We did one not long ago, just before Christmas. How do you have an entrance like this and not be part of the House of Black, says Rom. This makes me happy seeing Penta like this. It's great. What is Black Penta? I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone. Right, well, he's come out with a shovel and a gravestone, and apparently this is an alter ego of Penta. This is like his dark side. Penta Oscuro is what they're calling him. Crossbody to the outside. We're about 10 minutes away from halftime scores. Nice day for a wet wedding. Do you think Conte will leave? I don't know. I haven't heard, to be honest. Anna, Tottenham fan, that's a big part of our community, was saying that she's watched quite a few interviews with Conte, and apparently he's not happy at all. I mean, I should imagine there's a lot of emotion and anger. Losing to Burnley, cannot be part of the plan. Not after you beat Man City the other day. So, I don't know. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to watch some of those interviews. Right, Penta has got Malachi and driven him back, and Pac comes in. Pac, as we said, not wearing the blindfold today. Malachi driving Pac back in the corner. Brody King tags in. I love evil Penta, says Mr. Jack. What is the translator called? I don't know, to be honest, Mr. Translator. Terry Translator. Picture in picture. This is what happens when The Undertaker retires. Dark Penta. Welsh Warrior said, doesn't make sense how they beat City, then they lose to Burnley. It's like Liverpool are meant to win the league. He said that the board need to consider his future after the Burnley loss. He said the board need to consider his future. Is that his way of saying that he's like so disappointed that the loss that maybe the board should even consider, do they want to continue with him as the manager? That's how that sounds to me. The board need to consider his future. Don't know. Perhaps it's just emotion. Aaron said, I heard that Cody might try to bring some of his friends from AEW to WWE when their contracts are up. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a few people in AEW that probably are interested in going to WWE if they've never been there. Just because, not everyone, but some might, because it is a bigger company. It would be great for their brand, for them as a brand. It'd be bigger exposure. They could go there for a few years, and then, if they want to go back to AEW, then surely there'd be bigger stars. It would potentially even help AEW. Gets them off the wage bill at the moment. They can go off and, make themselves bigger and get a new fan base, a bigger fan base, and then they can come back to AEW, and that will help AEW in the future as well. So it would actually be win-win for pretty much everyone involved. WWE would win. Say MJF, right? MJF could go to WWE. That would be great for WWE because MJF could, be a big deal there. He could, really help do some stuff, and he would be someone new. and a new heel that can talk. So that would be good for WWE. It'd be good for MJF because it makes him, gets him exposed to more people. It's good for AEW because they can focus on some of the other talent they've got. It gets MJF off the wage bill. And it's also good for AEW because if they've got some kind of a unwritten kind of agreement with MJF that he'll be back in, say, 2-3 years, then when he does come back, that's going to be a nice boost for them in the future. So WWE benefits, MJF benefits, AEW would benefit, providing he does go back, of course. And if you did that for a few people, not loads, but just like a few people, then everyone could win. Need to the midsection. The other thing as well is, say, if MJF did go, you'd have to think he'd be going for quite a bit of money. Did you ever watch Lucha Underground? No. I could never find it on TV. I saw a couple of episodes and I liked what I saw, but I understand that it was quite supernatural and whatever, which I'm not a fan of in WWE. But if the whole promotion from the start is based around supernatural and everyone's got a different ability, I reckon I could get with that. That would be fine. I'd be willing to give it a go at least, let's put it that way. I've never really seen a promotion that's done that. So, yeah, I'd be down for giving it a go. I would be quite happy to watch Lucha Underground. I really like Prince Puma for what I saw, and the in-ring stuff from what I saw was very impressive. But as I said, I only got to see a couple of episodes, so I am judging it on a very small sample size. Penta up top with a crossbody. All four guys are down in the ring at the moment. Lucha made most of the wrestlers you see today. Cage, Jeff Cobb, Angélico, Jack Evans, Sonny Kiss, says Robert. When Mysterio officially retires, they should have Penta do a 30-minute match on NXT. Name one top heel in WWF that's MJF size. Miz. I mean, that's who he tends to get compared with. I'd say Miz was a top heel. He's been WWE champion a couple of times, used on a very regular basis. He's been in main events. I mean, he might even be a Grand Slam champion now. It's almost certain to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. Against ropes goes Brody King. Knee strike by Pac. Pac in the corner. I prefer Bianca Belair to Becky, says Dort Knight. Pentagon Dark is his character from Lucha Underground, says Esteban. I think that might be exciting for those that watched it, but for people that didn't, that's obviously not going to resonate. And it's been a while now since Lucha Underground. Roll up by Penta, and they get it. A roll up wins it. Penta rolls up Malachi and gets the 3 count. Brody slams Pac on top of Penta. Okay, so Pac's down. Penta's down. Malachi's down. The bell's being rung. Could someone make a save? Here's Pac. Pac's being beaten up. Could Fenix come back or something? I don't know. Malachi beating up on the outside. Slam down. He's had to take a drink of water because, like, apparently the mist that he had in his mouth has burnt his throat or something. I don't know. He's got the shovel on the throat of Penta. Lights have gone out. Buddy Murphy's here. I thought Buddy Murphy was going to join the House of Black. Buddy Murphy in the ring. JR said if he's signed for AEW, then that's going to be a hell of a get. Buddy Matthews. OMG, yes. He is going to join them. Oh, well, there we go. He kicks at Pac, and he beats up Penta, and it looks like Buddy is now part of the House of Black. Days, do you think the longer Wyndham waits, the more chance he has of joining WWE? I would think so. I mean, his chances don't get less, do they? Got to think that, you know, the longer that he's away and the longer that he doesn't, like, re-sign, the chances of him going back to WWE probably do increase. But I don't know if they increase drastically or to the point where it becomes likely or more likely that he ends up going back to WWE or anything. But yeah, I can get with that. I can get with the idea that, you know, the longer he's away, the more his chances of going straight back to WWE increase. Buddy Matthews is here. What side is he on? He's with the House of Black. Buddy Matthews joins the Kings of the Black Throne. Just tuning in, what have I missed so far? Buddy Murphy, Buddy Matthews is in the ring. Miz is the first ever two-time Grand Slam champion. Drives Penta into a chair. This show has been sick, says Luke. Lights have gone. Lights have gone out again. Surely they're just going to disappear now or something. Lights are out. I don't know what's happening. JR is just not having it, is he? JR's like lights out, lights on, lights out, lights on. I don't think he's a fan of the lights going on and off as often as they do. Alistair is copying Bray Wyatt. Confirmed. Buddy, just the same as Seats, treating him like a background loser. This reminds me of Thunder. Buddy Matthews is all elites. JR just buried the lights off. He did, yeah. He's not having it, is he? He's not having it at all. We've got Jade Cargill against the Bunny. We've got Bryan Danielson against Daniel Garcia. But coming up next, Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho. Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho. Get in your halftime scores. You might as well do it now. I don't know if we are going to a commercial break or not, but we've just got a little video package, actually, about Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. But you might as well get in your halftime scores. Zachary says 8. Mr. Jack says good show so far. They've done Lights Out for Bunny and the Blade, kind of made it cringe. Buddy Matthews is so damn good, says James. 9. JR should retire and get Taz on Dynamite. Ron says 8. Heather, hello, said yes. Eddie, I popped like crazy last week when I saw Eddie. Anna said 4.5. Lee says 4.75. Daniel says 4.5. Rai said 7.27. Gregor says 8. Samurai Noba says 9. Trey says 6.5. Esteban says 8. Austin says 6.5. Karen says 7. Zoom Station said 4.75. J14 with a 7.75. 1987 big fan says 5. We've got El Sini with an 8. Kristen with an 8. Vape Ross Vape with an 8. Ledge Killer with a 6.5. Denis with a 6. Matt with a 9. All these scores firing in. We got a real mixture, to be honest. I'm seeing 4s, and then I'm seeing 9s, and we've got 6s and 7s and 8s in between as well. So feels like it's quite stretched tonight as to where people are. Days Misha won. That's good. What? Celebrity Big Brother. She won the whole thing, did she? I didn't even know it was the final. Well, that's good. That makes her maybe even a bigger star now. Is that a big thing? I don't know. Do people watch it? I'm guessing they do. That's good. 6 says Edward. 6.5 says Retribution. Erasure Mind says 7. Mary said 9.25. Cliff said I didn't like the MJF segment. Wyndham should join Death Triangle and Dark Order. Lance said 7.75 solid start. Radioactive Bun says 3.5. Brendan says 8. Justin Archer says 6.5. Tony says 4. MJF babyface promo was solid, says Junior. Bunkers says 5. Mass Chief said JR should stay. Him and Tony are still better than Taz. JR could be 190 and still be better than Taz. She was an MMA star. Now she is an international star. Matthew said, your opinion on Cora Jade, and I say 8.5 for the score. Cora Jade, I ain't feeling at all. I think she's too small. She doesn't really impress me that much. I don't, like, she comes across like a kid. And, yeah, I don't get it. She comes across like a kid, and she comes across as quite small. And I just think there's a lot more. There's women. There's women out there that I think like could have that spot. I don't get it. I think she's meant to appeal to like maybe a young kind of. She's meant to be that kind of cool girl next door kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know. She doesn't do it for me. I don't find her. She was doing like some segment with Raquel Gonzalez, wasn't she? Where they went to like an adventure park or something. It was just a bit. I like, Io Shirai, Zoe Stark, Serena Deeb, Asuka. I like those kind of women, I mean, Cora Jade, I'm sure she can continue to learn and develop and get really good in the ring, but it just feels like I wouldn't be using her on TV at the moment. Feel like she needs to hit the gym. She needs to put a bit of, size on, and maybe need a little bit more seasoning. But as I said, I think the reason why she's on TV is because she serves like a purpose. They like the fact that she's a little bit young looking, and maybe she can connect with the young girls or something. I don't know. Eddie Kingston against well, actually it's not, it's just a promo, innit? Let's scrap this. Chris Jericho. Daisy's favourite song. Oh, I'm used to it now. Automatically just turn it down. Buddy Murphy's debut, an epic MJF promo, fun tag team battle royal. Page looks strong, just needs a blowaway match to be 10 out of 10. Wow. 10 out of 10. That would, so you're saying this is one of the greatest Dynamites you've ever seen? Because that would be what 10 out of 10 would be. If it is, then fair play. Eddie Kingston is in the ring with security. Jericho said, I don't want us to fight like common street thugs, which I know you consider yourself to be. Eddie chants. I'm not a sports entertainer, Chris. This is a wrestling company, not a sports entertainment company. We're just down the road from Stamford, so maybe I will give you some sports entertainment, says Jericho. But this will actually be entertaining, says Jericho. They just can't help themselves, can they, eh? See, this is why when the Bucks turn around and say, "Oh, it was all Cody's idea for us to like start a war with WWE," well, Cody isn't there right now, is he? Jericho says, I saw you, and then I realized why I had never seen you before. It's because you look like a jobber. I might not have heard of you before, but this guy is good. I told you would be a huge baby face in AEW. It's weird to hear babyface get used on TV, isn't it? Like out in the open. It's insane to me that AEW feels the need to take shots at WWE. Tahil said, the only bad thing about wrestling is the fans. Planting the seeds days, when the farmer leaves the field, the harvest still grows. Jericho is spitting facts. Eddie is just waiting to fire back verbally, says Sean. You didn't make it to the big time till you was 38, but you know I made it when I was 22. You're jealous of me. If Eddie had a physique, he would have been WWE champion. Purple shoes. Yeah, purple shoes. Purple shoes. Purple shoes. It's a great track. The only reason you've main evented is because I wasn't there. I do like this. I mean, I do find this an intriguing promo. I do. I think what Jericho has said is put out a few good lines. Okay. I'd rather do things on my own. He says, you're sucking my blood, but my blood is too tough for you. My blood is not Kool-Aid. So he says, I want to fight at the pay-per-view. It's his promo with Punk. It's very similar. Why can't AEW do a big promo without taking shots at WWE, says Harley. Jericho's abs are inspiring me, says Alex. This is not bad at all, says Master Chief. Eddie telling Jericho to be careful. I like that. I like it because it feels like it is touching a genuine nerve. Jericho said, I've seen guys like you come and go. Jericho didn't stay on the family stuff for very long, you know. I wonder if there was a little something to that. He's getting a bit flustered. He says May 6 as Eddie Kingston takes a few steps forward. If you do beat me, I will shake your hand. If you do beat me, I will shake your hand, look you in the eye, and tell you you've got my utmost respect. We got the match. I like that. I like this from Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston's like, don't give me the Chris Jericho that was in that Mimosa match. Don't give me the Chris Jericho that was pushed off the top of a cage by MJF. Give me the Chris Jericho that was the first ever AEW champion. Some nice stuff here. Some nice stuff. I like the Eddie saying, be careful when, and it felt real when Jericho started talking about his family. I'm going to give you that Chris Jericho. And then like him asking for that specific Chris Jericho. You are nothing more than a loser. You can't win the big one. Jericho says to Eddie, you can't win the big one, and I am the big one. I like that promo. I like that. Didn't need the WWE stuff. I do find it ironic, you know, that they talk about how this isn't sports entertainment, this is wrestling, and the crowd get really passionate behind that. And then, you know, a little bit later in the same promo, they're talking about main event in pay-per-views and winning championships. Those same championships and pay-per-views would be the sports entertainment championships and the sports entertainment pay-per-views that they kind of take a dig at earlier in the same promo. So I do find that a little rich. But outside of that, which you know, just plays to that crowd, there's some nice stuff in that promo. There's some good stuff in there. I really like Eddie Kingston, as I said, saying that he wants that certain Jericho. I thought that was very good. I even like Jericho talking about how he sees Eddie Kingston as being a failure, and talking about how there was a lot of excitement. He didn't know who it was, and then he saw him and he thought he was just a jobber. He looked like a jobber, and all this kind of stuff. There was a lot of terms that were used, like jobber and babyface, that were used in the ring that you don't tend to hear in promos. But it works for this audience, and I ain't got a problem with that. But yeah, I thought, by and large, overall, it was a good little back and forth. That it's definitely got me more intrigued for the match. So, right, 40 minutes to go, and we've got Ricky Starks making his way down to the ring. He's going to be taking on 10. Dark Order making their way down. Ron says, I like Ricky Starks, but I want the ladder match to just be big, meaty men. Guys, if you ever thought or wondered if Vince McMahon actually joins us during these streams, I think we've just got our answer. He does. He's got a burner account, and he actually goes by the name Ron Jones. So, there we go. Vince McMahon confirmed. Vince McMahon says, I love Ricky Stark, but I want the ladder match at Revolution to just be big, meaty men. So, there we go. Vince McMahon in the chat right now. Very, very exciting news. Very exciting. Vince McMahon is all elite. Right, there is an e-card that's available, which is Keith Lee, apparently. You can go to whatever that company's called, can't remember, and get a Keith Lee e-card. Vince does seem to be booking the ladder match, honestly, says Austin. Vince says, oh, I've been confirmed. You've been revealed. It was me all along. This is the first AEW episode I've watched, and I love it, says WWE fan. It's so good, I'm definitely going to watch again. Zoom Station said, it's annoying how AEW pretend that they're not sports entertainment too. Xtastic says, fun fact, Mabel really was almost the third member. Daniel said, I don't think there is anyone more believable than Eddie Kingston. You believe everything he says, and then you think he's fuming at certain comments. That's why the crowd are so into him. Big Time Baxter said, some of the AEW fan base is full of either disfranchised WWE fans or fans that dislike WWE. When they pop huge for Murphy, they clearly still watch WWE. Thoughts? I think some of them do. Or maybe don't watch, but just keep an eye just in case. I think a lot of this fan base used to watch WWE, definitely. You talk about WrestleMania and you talk about certain things and certain people come in, like Ruby Soho comes into a great reaction. Buddy Matthews, as you said, comes in and gets a nice, I can't say it was an overwhelming reaction, but gets a nice reaction. Gets a reaction. So I think there's an awareness, but it might not be that they actually sit and watch. It might just be that they just keep an eye on results and see, look, is it worth me going back and is it worth my time? Is it worth me going back? Is it a bit more like the kind of thing that I want it to be? And until it is, then, a lot of these people probably won't be watching. But I think there probably is a hope that WWE will, go back to being more like, say, the Attitude Era, just as or Ruthless Aggression, moving away from its PG, family-focused stuff that it's doing. But then you've got the hardcore AEW fans that's it. It's just AEW for them. So I think there's probably a range. But enough will be aware of what's happening in WWE to give that kind of reaction. But I don't think it means they're secretly watching. I don't think that's happening. Some will. I mean, look, this is going to be a mixed crowd. In this crowd right now, you will have people that watch all kinds of wrestling, like James Chadwick does. We'll just watch anything and everything. Then you'll have people that are like AEW hardcore, that will only watch AEW, not interested in anything else. And then you'll have like people that watch AEW and they would watch WWE if it was more in line with what they wanted. And so those people are probably just watching, like, I don't know, What Culture. You see a lot of signs for Simon and whatever and What Culture. So they're probably watching What Culture. They're probably watching... getting, reading the odd Raw review or SmackDown review, just seeing what's happening, keeping up to date with what's going on, and would I be interested in going back, Is it going to be worth watching Rumble this year? Is it going to be worth watching WrestleMania? But I don't know that they were tuning into Raw week in, week out. So I think there's a mixture, to be honest. Seems very quiet for this match. I just had to turn it up to see if there was any noise. Ricky Starks goes out the ring. We need less established talent. We need to build new stars, says Paul Levesque, Triple H. Jeff Hardy is trending as he has apparently confirmed that he is signing to AEW on his YouTube channel with only 300 subs. That is such a Jeff thing to do. Kyle said, I can't understand it. I've watched WWF and WCW, then WWE and TNA, and now WWE and AEW. What is with that WWE guy that keeps spamming? I don't know. I wish they would stop. But just keep deleting the accounts. I only watch Monday Night Raw, NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite, Impact, SmackDown, and AEW Rampage. Starks gets the win. Starks gets the win. Beats 10. Crowd seemed quite quiet for that match. This will be a big, beefy boy ladder match. Ricky won't win because Hobbs is already in it. I've been trying to explore some more wrestling promotions because my whole life I've only watched WWE. So it's been fun lately watching some other stuff, says WWE fan. Let him in said, I had just started watching AEW again in like 2 months, so I'm a little bit lost. That's all right. You'll soon catch up, bud. It's actually a good time to watch because we're not too far away from Revolution. So things are building towards that show. So you'll soon pick it up. Love of God. Adam Cole said, I've got enough on my plate right now. We're a team. Adam Cole frustrated with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish that they're causing a bit of drama. And here is Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill going to be taking on the Bunny. Really like Jade Cargill. She's got a great look. She's all right on the mic as well. She's got blue hair now. Jade Cargill making her way down to the ring. TBS champion. Going to be taking on the Bunny. Can I get a Keith Lee e-card on an iPad from Kmart? Yeah. I think it was built for that. I don't know if you can get it on an iPad. I think you have to get it on an iPod Nano. That's how you get it. Yeah, it's only available on iPod Nanos. The ring announcer sounds familiar. Was he announcer in WWE, or am I just crazy? Yeah, he's been around. These two face to face. Shame she hasn't come out of the elevator platform. Cody, in his farewell message, said that she could have it for her entrance. It's not really his call, is it? I don't think he can do that kind of booking when he's not there anymore. So, Jade in the corner. Bunny pushing out at her face. Big boot by Jade. I've got a lot of time for robots and spammers, but when they make Days miss my post, the relationship between us deteriorates. They're persistent and annoying. How do you think WWE will react to Tony Khan constantly pulling out his wallet and spending on so many guys Vince has released? Is there a hope for Vince to see Khan take a hit in the budget? Yeah, I think that's part of the reason as to why they've done it. And I think that, the budget is pretty full, to be honest. So, I think that, look, Tony Khan's a businessman. He'll have a good idea as to, how much he wants to spend. I reckon he's there or thereabouts now, so I think there's always room to bring in a big name or someone that he feels is, going to be a good addition. And someone like Buddy Matthews, I really don't think is going to be costing AEW that much at all. And, what with Cody leaving, that's a huge wage you'd have to think, and Brandy, that's come off the wage bill. So there's probably some scope to, maybe go and get more than what he was anticipating. Bunny and Jade Cargill are both on the outside of the ring. These two are just both sat out there. They're both sat on the outside of the ring whilst Matt Hardy comes down and gives the delete gesture to Jade Cargill's manager. Jade gets back into the ring. Bunny getting back into the ring as well. Bunny charging over. Why was Jade in that position? Why was Jade in that position? She was kind of bent over in the corner. She had her backside up in the air. And the Bunny just went running over and drop kicked her in the backside. But I don't know why. Why was Jade in that position? That's bizarre. I like AEW. It's something different to the norm. I like them both. I enjoy both, says Adam. With all the hype going on with turning Khan's announcement, what do you think? Tony Khan's announcement. What do you think it might be? Don't know. Apparently, he's got a non-disclosure agreement, is what I was told earlier. I think was it Daniel saying that there's a tweet from Tony Khan where he says that there'll be more information in the next few weeks, but there's a non-disclosure agreement. So, don't know. Certainly seems bigger than a sign-in, and I think that's good. I think that's more exciting. Matthew said, imagine Liv at AEW to reunite with Ruby Soho. Well, I mean, the women don't dominate the shows, let's put it that way. So, if Liv was on this show, I don't know. I mean, she would be used, but I don't know if she'd be used every week. What was that? What was that? I'd have to rewatch it, but it feels like Jade was down for a 3 and a 2 got counted, and then Aubrey did not count the 3. Was that... Did I just see what I thought I saw? Which is Jade Cargill down. Aubrey counting 1, 2, and then Aubrey not counting the 3. And then Jade Cargill getting a shoulder up. I'd have to rewatch that. What kind of a 2 count was that? Yeah. That was a botch. I would have to see the clip of it again, but it feels like that was bad. Let's have a look, see what's being said on Twitter or if there's a clip of it. Oh, it's all in foreign language. Wow, there's a lot of foreign language here. Jade, you're supposed to kick out before the ref stops counting. Yeah, it seems like people saw the same thing. So... someone's going to debut. Jade picking up the bunny, planting her. 1, 2, 3. I think Aubrey. I need to see that clip, but I think Aubrey refused to count the 3. 1, 2. I think she knew that if she counted the 3, the bunny would become the new TBS champion, and she refused to count the 3. Even JR on commentary said as Jade just had a brain fart. And I think that Aubrey probably knows that Jade's undefeated streak is really important. Here's Jade. The question is, who is next? Ty Conti coming down. So distracted by that, you know. So distracted. I just really want to see what people are saying. There's people saying Jade is awful, and there's people saying, oh my god, Jade is improving so much. Twitter just doesn't know where it wants to position itself. Ty Conti making their way down. Jade is getting comfortable on the mic as long as it's short and sweet. Kristen, shout out to you. Jade has been improving, but Bunny is a veteran, and that was a really bad match from Jade, says Kyle. Ref is fixing the match, says Burn It Down. Ty Conti is down. Anna Jay comes down with a chair. Here's Keith Lee. Here's Ricky Starks. Me and Hobbs don't care where you came from. Yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee. Keith Lee squares up to Powerhouse Hobbs. Keith Lee's bigger than Powerhouse Hobbs, you know. Big guy, isn't he, Keith Lee? Face of the Revolution qualifying match. Orange Cassidy against Bowens. We've got Serena Deeb 5-minute challenge. There's contract signing. We got Sammy Guevara against Andrade. I can't wait for that contract signing. Keith Lee looking good. Keith Lee looking good. Hobbs is in better shape. Keith Lee is a bit out of shape, but he has crazy muscle and strength. Not a fan of Jade's constant swearing, or her, honestly, and the ladies constantly trying to be edgy by swearing just comes off as forced and a weak way of getting heat or popping a crowd, says Sean. Is that next week or on Rampage? Bit of both, kind of mixture between the two. Bryan Danielson against Daniel Garcia. That is going to be next, and I'm guessing that is going to be our main event. I was so distracted then by that. It took me out of the match. I mean, like, it really took me out of everything. Like, I think what I just saw was Aubrey count 1, 2... and refused to count the 3. And I don't think there was any part of Jade that was off the mat or there was any reason for Aubrey to not do it. I think she just realized, if I count this 3, there's a title change and Jade's undefeated streak is about to go out the window. And in that moment, she had a decision of, I'm either about to end all of that or I pause. And she paused. And then Jade got like a shoulder up. So it's 1, 2, would have been 3. And then Jade got a shoulder up. I don't know that. Maybe Jade didn't hear the first one and she thought it was. I don't know. I really don't know. I really, really want to watch it again because. I mean, that would be, that would be a new champion. It would be the end of Jade's undefeated streak. It would be us going down a completely different road than what we're going down now. And obviously, it's hard to take Jade now saying how she's, I'm 28-0. I'm soon to be 30-0. I'm about to be 50-0. When she almost didn't make it to 28-0 just a few moments ago. Danielson against Garcia. Matt said, has AEW left its spring stage, brackets, fledgling company, and entered its summer stage, established media? Was CM Punk that summer solstice, so to speak? I've never heard of it worded that way before. Has it left being a fledgling company? I feel like TNT, TBS are quite happy with the numbers that are coming back. So I think they're quite solid. I think they've been established media, if you want to say it that way, for quite a while. But the thing with this version of established media is that it doesn't take too many weeks of bad ratings for that to change, ratings are very important, and TBS, TNT, I think, are very happy with what AEW are doing. But if things were to slide, if this 850 was to become 8, was to become 750, was to become 7, and it would be like there, and for a while. I don't know. I don't know where the bottom end of the expectation is, to be honest. So I think they're established. They've been around 2 years. They've been consistent with their ratings. Tony's got lots of little things and tricks that he can pull to ensure that bad ratings don't stay there. It seems like he's got something big lined up, doesn't it? Seems like he's got something pretty major that he's very excited about. We're back from commercial break. This is going to be a dream match, says David. I wish AEW had their own streaming service, says Lamar. Time for the main event. Time for the main event. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Here's Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson making his way down. Give the win to Wardlow. Gilly said, this should be good. Garcia is better than most realize. Haven't seen Danielson wrestle since before he was in WWE. I can't remember what his last WWE match was. AEW running the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for Double or Nothing. That is the arena that UFC pay-per-views are in, and it holds 20,000 seats. Tony has to space out the signings. All at once leaves nothing left. Right. Here we go. 13 minutes left, and it's Danielson against Garcia. There's a sign in the crowd that says Haku fears Hook, which is great. That's a great sign. I wish Bryan had his final countdown theme. Austin said, I really can't wait for the contract signing between Britt and Rosa. Those two are so good on the mic. John said Hobbs Keith Lee could be a good match. It really could. Yeah, it really could. Three nights in Vegas. JR says he's excited about that. Chop coming in by Garcia. Danielson nods in acknowledgement. Allows Garcia to throw in another chop. And again, he goes, grabs the leg. He's got the legs tied up. And now he's throwing in shots on Garcia. I think mentioning WWE all the time gets old now, says Lamar. Heather said, wait, Red Death is wearing blue trunks. Indeed. Danielson in his, burgundy. The crowd went to sleep. Crowd do seem a bit quiet. The crowd, a lot of people were giving crowd props during that tag match battle royal, but they have been quiet throughout, dare I say, the second part of the show. Uppercut by Danielson. Danielson going against ropes, stuck underneath. Chop block. When will AEW get some Samoans on the roster? I don't know. Don't know that they've ever specifically targeted to try and get some Samoans in particular. I think they've just looked to see what great talent is out there that's available and done it on that basis. Austin said, I thought the second part was better than the first. Who do you actually think the web hacker is? Don't know. Don't know. Elbow drop by Garcia. And again. Danielson trying to grab the arm, but Garcia grabbing a hold of the ankle. Matt said, if AEW enters the autumn stage, lack of interest, and a winter stage, forgotten media, they will be able to reinvent and have a second spring. I find the summer thing a bit bizarre, to be honest. I just think they are. So, what's the question? If they struggle, would they be able to reestablish themselves? The answer would be yes. There's lots of little things that Tony Khan can do to, reinvigorate, rejuvenate an AEW product that's going a little bit stale. There's always people that he can go and sign. There's always interesting matches that he can make. I think they're quite in touch with their fan base as well. So, he can easily establish what the AEW fans want to see and ensure that they're positioned to give them exactly that, I don't think WWE are too bothered about what the fans want. I think they tell the stories they want to tell. I mean, they constantly kept ramming Roman down people's throats because Vince believed he was the right person, he had the right look. And granted, now they've turned him heel, it's more palatable and it's really working. But with AEW, I think they do listen to the fan feedback more, and I think they do want to give the fans more what they want, and that's always going to roughly have them where they need to be. And what we're bringing in, like new faces and everything, that gives them new opportunities. So, yeah, if things go stale, there's going to be lots of ways they can reinvigorate, rejuvenate. And as we said, apparently in a couple of weeks, there's a big announcement that's come in, which could see them working with Impact, working with New Japan, putting on like a big multi-promotional card. You could see AEW invading Impact. You could see AEW invading New Japan, or New Japan invading AEW. If everything's got, stale, I'm sure there'd be lots of different things they would try. Whether those things would work, don't know. But I think the fact they've been able to stay at a really decent level, at a good level for the past 2 years, makes you think that there shouldn't really be any reason why they couldn't maintain this, going forwards. I think they are going through a little bump at the moment, though. I think the move to TBS gave them a nice bump in the ratings where they got to over 1 million, and now it's kind of that bump has gone and they've settled back down again. Rampage obviously moved earlier in its time slot, and that seemed to struggle. The whole Cody thing, I think, has been a big knock as well, losing one of the people that helped set the company up. So it's just been like a really bad few weeks for AEW, with ratings not that strong, Cody leaving, that being obviously the worst. It's probably just been a bit of a rough ride, but they'll, get through it. They'll get to Revolution. I'm sure that show will be good. And, I'm sure whatever Tony's been working on, that's going to drop, and that'll influence ratings and whatever. Very quiet crowd here for the ending of this one. Very quiet. Missile dropkick by Bryan Danielson. He cheers out at the crowd and tries to get the crowd fired up. 5 minutes to go as he kicks out at the legs of Garcia. Is this crowd not entertained? They've been a little bit flat tonight. John said, the show was sold out by the time I got there. Epic fail. Ron said, I was worried for AEW when the pandemic hit. They did really well to kind of steer their way through that. Cliff said the crowd are dead. Are you all enjoying the show? Well, we will get people's scores at the end. In about 5 minutes' time, we'll find out what the community thinks of it. Strikes coming in by Danielson. Garcia getting back up to his feet as Danielson goes around the back of Garcia. Tiger suplex. Cattle mutilation. So submission applied by Danielson. Both guys getting back up to their feet. Ankle lock applied. Ankle lock applied by Garcia on Danielson, and kicks to the head. Danielson with forearm strike. 1, 2, shoulder up. They need to get Garcia away from 2.0. They need to make him more relevant, says David. The crowd doesn't care about him right now because his booking has been poor. Is Rampage filmed before Dynamite? I think it's after. Cody was right. You need wild, crazy matches to get people's attention. Strike coming in. I don't know that that's true, to be honest. I don't think that's true. I don't think you do need wild, crazy matches to get people's attention. I think what you need are good, engaging matches. And you don't need wild, crazy spots in order to do that. So I disagree with Cody there. I think what you need is a good build. You need a reason to care about the match. I think just chucking a match out there that's cold and expecting the crowd to just care. I'm not saying that's the case here, but I'm just saying in general. I think that's a problem. But I think if you give it a good build and the match has got, nice pace, change of pace to it, and is engaging, I don't think you need wild spots. I really don't. I think that's actually a problem in modern wrestling. I think there's too many bad matches that make people think that. 2.0 have jumped into the ring and they're beating up on Bryan Danielson. Could Moxley come down? Moxley's coming out. Moxley coming through the crowd, and that's fired the crowd up. Moxley jumps into the ring as Danielson has got the win here. Okay, so Moxley clears 2.0 out the ring. Kick to the midsection. Paradigm shift. Big paradigm shift as well. Okay, so we've got Danielson and Moxley in the ring. Just kind of staring at each other as Danielson is holding a chair. He's got a microphone. We are running out of time, so he's going to have to be quick. See what he's got to say. Got to be quick, mate. Unless you've got an overrun. This is awesome chant by the crowds. In order for us to fight together, so Danielson says, in order to fight together, we need to bleed together. And so the match is made at Revolution. As Danielson's music hits and these two get face to face. Cody is going to come out any minute, says Jay. Right. Poll is in the chat. What did you score AEW Dynamite this week? What did you think of the show? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you think it was all right? Are you happy? Are you sad? What's your thoughts? I might be in the minority, but I sometimes struggle to watch AEW. There's too many characters to invest in, endless debuts, and a lot to digest, and a little overwhelming, says Delmar. Nelson with a 4. The Revolution card is ridiculously stacked. 8.75, 6.25, 6, 6, 6.75, 7.65, 7. 6.5 or 7, says Austin. 6.5, 6. The MJF promo sucked and took too much time. 6.5, 6, 6, 7.31. Zoom Station said 6.5. There was botches. I am going to agree. Actually, I'm around the same as many of you. I'm going to go 6.25. About 6.25, I would be tempted to go probably down. I thought, yeah, I'm probably where you lot are. I thought the main event was a bit flat, and I think high expectations for Danielson matches, and the crowd did not help things at all tonight. I thought the crowd were very quiet, very, very quiet. So I really liked the Jericho promo. The ending of the Battle Royal, I thought was good. The Jericho promo, I thought was good. I'm sure there was a match that I liked. I thought I need to have a look at that Jade botch. Wasn't really feeling the House of Black thing. Buddy Matthews being in AEW is good. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't loads that I was crazy about, but there was some stuff. There was some stuff on this show. 6.5, 6.35, 6, 6.5, 6.25, 6.23. Anna says 6. Jim said, I'm sad that the bunny didn't win. Channel name says 9. John said 6.23 for the second half. I didn't see the first. Hayden said, I agree, 6.25. Johnny said 10 out of 10. Can you do Impact tomorrow? No, we don't do Impacts. I'd only look at doing Impact if this is going to be an agreement where like Impact and AEW are going to start invading each other. I said that last time. I thought that's where it was heading, and it never did. We did end up doing a couple of Impact shows when like Kenny was on the show and he took on Rich Swann. We did that show, but I'd only be watching it really to see how it would connect with AEW and what kind of crossover it would be, and if the Impact stars would invade AEW, then I'd want to know who they are, and are they face, are they heel, or that kind of stuff. So we would only ever watch Impact if it was going to be for something like that. To be honest, I don't know that it's going that way, but I am kind of interested to see what Tony's got up his sleeve. Whatever it is, it seems quite intriguing, so... Rye said 3.5 for the crowd. Crowd were poor. They were poor. Harley said, there's no way 34% of people think this is an 8 to 10 show. I swear people just give AEW a high rating because it's AEW. Well... That's not just... I mean, we do get that with WWE as well. I mean, we're critical of things that, we don't like, which is fine. And we do the exact same thing with Raw and SmackDown also. And you get the same there, whereby, like, the scores... you know, you think it's around about a 6 or 6.25, 6.5, whatever. And you look at the poll and like 8 to 10 is winning. So there's definitely a degree of like hardcore fans that like cast their votes. But then genuinely, I think there's people that are just really into the shows. And, you know, for them, genuinely, they're not even lying. Like AEW can't do really much wrong, or what they see is 8 to 10. So I think it's a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. I think there's people that are genuine, and then I think there's people that probably always have intentions of voting 8 to 10. Dylan, shout out to you. High Flyer said, nothing against Impact fans, but it's not a very big company. No one would want a full stream bar those Impact fans. Yeah, I mean, I'd want to have a look at it from an AEW point of view, to be honest, and just really because I'd want to know what was going on. And that's why we did it before, because it felt like it was building towards that big invasion, and it never quite got there. So, well, it's not that it didn't quite get there. It didn't get there. So, I don't know. I can't quite figure out what Tony Khan's talking about. I might have a quick... I'm going to have a little... Is it a video? Tony Khan. Let's have a look. Welcome to AEW, Buddy Matthews. It's Wednesday. You know what that means? Oh, I think someone said it's on his Instagram, is it? I'm looking to see if he's put a video on Twitter. Oh, I ain't going on Instagram. I never mess around with that. Okay, well, Tony said something. Tony has said something tonight. Penelope, why wasn't Penelope in Bunny's Corner? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. High Flyer said, can you stick around? I've got nothing else to do. Low Light Ref Botch. James says, blame AEW for that, not Impact. Oh, yeah, I mean, Impact, I'm sure, would love to have done it. It'd be great exposure for them, and I can't see any reason as to why they wouldn't have wanted to have done it. So, yeah, I'm totally... I think you've said before, James, that, like, AEW really messed Impact around when they, like, worked with them last time. So I think I'd be quite surprised if they now were working with them. But then saying that, it's such a big opportunity if they were. You know, the opportunity to get your stars on TBS, TNT for Rampage as well. Like, that's something Impact would probably find very hard to pass up. So I don't know. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. It's on AEW's Twitter. Oh, I went to Tony Khan's. Let's have a look. AEW. I was just going to have a look and see what he said, because it does feel like it is worth watching. Vegas, baby. There's a lot of, obviously, clips of tonight. Jericho was good. Did we mention that? Jericho, Eddie Kingston. That was a real highlight of the show for me. Oh, here we go. Right. We're backstage with Tony and Tony. The two Tonys. Two-tone. Tony. Okay. Big announcement. Working on something massive. NDA. The legal team's got them under NDA. Really great for the fans. And for the wrestlers. Coming soon. More details. Yeah, I mean, he said it's something really exciting for the wrestlers and something really exciting for the fans. It's not like the first dance where I can put a date and a time on it, but I promise you something big is coming. It's different to anything that we've done before. What would be different to something they've done before that's big, exciting for the fans, exciting for the wrestlers? And can't be announced because of an NDA? And be big? I think Tony's talking about Jeff Hardy. I don't think so. It feels to me like maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think. What could it be? An NDA. Big fans wrestler, like a joint show or something. I don't know. AEW New Japan Super Show, yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. AEW New Japan Super Show. Maybe with some kind of joint tour as well that they could do to promote it. Imagine if they did a few dates in America and then they did a few dates in Japan. I don't know where you'd hold the show. It is interesting. It is very, very interesting. Right. Let's wrap this up and see where we are with the poll. Boom. Breaking news, Putin announces a special military operation in eastern Ukraine in a televised speech. When's that broken through? 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago, Putin announces military operation in the Ukraine. Oh, wow. There we go. Right. 8 to 10, 32%. 7 to 7, 5, 28%. 6 to 6, 7, 5, 27%. Very close between those two. Just 1% in it. And then 5, 7, 5 or below, 10%. So, days Ukraine, Russia is escalating big time. Okay. Well, let's end it there. And we'll see what's happening over in with all of that. Right, stay safe, everyone, and hope you enjoyed the show. We're back tomorrow with Arsenal Wolves over on Football Days, so we do have a Premier League game tomorrow. It's actually the last Premier League game of this game week, so it's kind of a big one because then we'll have a good idea as to how many points everyone's finished on in the fantasy game. Friday, we're back with Rampage and SmackDown. And then, of course, we've got UFC at the weekend and more football and whatever. But, yeah, we'll have to see when this news drops from Tony. I'm guessing it'll be an announcement that he'll make on Dynamite or whatever. I don't think they'll just throw it out there. I don't think they will. But obviously, if that does happen, then we'll do either... If it is big, we'll do either like a special live stream or we'll do a special video or something. So if he can announce it and he can't wait for Dynamite or Rampage and it's just put out there, then we'll do something to that. But it seems like there's probably going to be a few weeks, and I'd imagine that he'd save the announcement for Dynamite. Got to get them ratings, haven't you? And I don't blame him. So, right, all the best, guys. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.